Moreover, Takehiko was busy with work all day, and the time that can be allocated to Nanako was very small. In addition, Takehiko's character has always been serious and unsmiling, so Nanako's childhood lacked a lot of care. Nanako's mother was a pretty lady, so when she was alive, she always taught her in a very traditional way, and Nanako also followed her mother to learn tea ceremony, illustration, embroidery, and even read poetry and books. In her character, the side of Yamato Nadeshiko was given by her mother. However, after the death of her mother, Nanako fell in love with martial arts because she felt that when she was practicing martial arts, she could temporarily forget the sadness and unhappiness in life. In the beginning, she only practiced martial arts to escape reality, but over time, she completely fell in love with martial arts. After she finished telling her story, she chased Charlie and asked him, "Master, can you tell me the story of your childhood?" Charlie smiled bitterly. "I was at two extremes when I was a kid. I lived well before I was 8 years old. My parents were kind, wealthy, and worry-free. But when I was 8, my parents died unexpectedly. I fell into the street and became an orphan, and then I grew up in the orphanage." Ah! When Nanako heard this, she was surprised, and said with a bit of distress, "I'm sorry, master, I didn't mean it." Charlie smiled slightly. "It's okay, needless to say sorry." Nanako said with emotion, "In this way, my childhood is much happier than that of master. Although my father is strict and unsmiling to me on weekdays, he still loves me very much in his heart, but his way of expression is not so soft in comparison." After all, Nanako looked at Charlie and said seriously, "Master, in fact, you have a conflict with my father. I heard Tien talk about it before. The reason why I pretended not to know was that I didn't want master to feel embarrassed, but actually, father's nature is not bad. If you have the opportunity, I still hope that you can let your previous suspicions go away and become friends." In fact, deep down in her heart, Nanako really wanted to say that she didn't want Charlie and her father to become enemies. In her heart, she dreamed that the two would cultivate a real relationship as husband and wife. However, she knew that Charlie was already married, so she could only hide such words in the most secret place in her heart and would never say them. Charlie didn't think much at this time, nodded slightly and said, "If there is a chance, I will." Nanako immediately became happy, and said seriously, "That's really great. But master, don't get me wrong. I hope you and my father will become friends, not for the 4.5 billion things. Master must keep it for himself, not give to my father." Charlie couldn't help laughing and asked her, "Why did you turn your elbow out? 4.5 billion is not a small sum." Nanako blushed and said softly, "It doesn't matter, master saved my life and healed my injury. This money is regarded as a reward from my father to Master Wade." Charlie couldn't help laughing, and said happily, "If your dad knows, he will be pissed off by you." Nanako stuck out her tongue and was about to talk when her phone suddenly vibrated. She was a little surprised. "It's so late, who will call me? Could it be the servant who found out that I escaped?" With that, she quickly took out her mobile phone and said in surprise, "Oh, it's father." Nanako didn't expect that her father would call her even so late. So, she said to Charlie a little nervously, "Master, I want to answer the call from father." Charlie nodded, and smiled. "Come on." Nanako was so busy pressing the answer button, and asked carefully, "Father, what's the matter, you called me so late?" On the other end of the phone, Takehiko's weak voice came. "Nanako, Dad had an accident. I called to confirm your safety. Is everything okay in Kyoto?" Nanako hurriedly asked, "Father, what happened to you? Is it serious?" Takehiko said, "I was hunted down together with Tanaka. Fortunately, I escaped by chance, but I'm afraid they will try to get you, so I called to confirm." At this moment, Takehiko Ito is lying in the intensive care unit of the Tokyo hospital. The family's ninjas, bodyguards, and police officers from the TMPD have already tightly protected the third and outer floors of the hospital. Lying on the hospital bed, Ito did not have any serious trauma at first glance, but his legs below the knees have disappeared, but the ends of the two thighs are wrapped in thick gauze. After falling from the viaduct, Ito's brain and internal organs did not suffer much damage. However, the legs that mainly bear the impact of the fall were seriously injured. His soles, ankles, and calf bones were almost completely shattered, and his bloody appearance was really horrible. In this case, the doctor also concluded that his legs are no longer able to recover. Moreover, fragmented bones and severely damaged muscles have lost their vitality and face a huge risk of infection. Therefore, only if the severely damaged part is amputated as soon as possible, the damage can be stopped in time and Takehiko's life can be saved. For ordinary people, once the body tissues die in a large area, there is basically no possibility of restoration. If the limb is severely injured, if the limb is not amputated, the infected area will rot, and the entire body will soon be affected, eventually leading to death. At that time, when the doctor was seeking Ito's opinion, Ito had little hesitation. He is also considered a courageous and knowledgeable hero, able to clearly judge the situation he is facing at a critical moment. In his opinion, it is a blessing to be able to save his life. If he is unwilling to accept the amputation and continue to delay, he will probably die because of it. For him, except for his daughter, nothing is more important. Tanaka's situation was almost exactly the same as Ito's. He also underwent amputation of both legs below the knee, and recovered his life. At this time, he is recovering in the next ward. Nanako didn't know that her father had undergone amputation, and asked impatiently, "Father, are you okay? Is there any injury or danger?"